our Christian life is to know that Jesus is King and not live to please the crowd. It's the hardest thing to do. And here you have a man who's swayed by the pressure of the crowd, and I think that's true with church. And no matter what we are hearing, I want to make sure that we can do things the way God wants us to do.
What does the verse say? When the world sees us loving each other, then they'll see Jesus. I don't think that's just like us within one body. I think it's us as a community of believers.
I think the events is really important.
The events?
The events.
I think so too.
Because, I mean, that one year we had 400 kids and stuff at the Easter egg hunt. And then the Battle of the Bands was huge this past year. I thought it was great. And kids enjoy that.
Great, Louis.
I know.
It was great.
It was good.
Skateboarding.
The skateboarding and the bonfire.
You know, it's not like my father went there and then my grandfather. It's not like that. The church is a common ground that we're all from somewhere else.
Pretty good mix.
Yes, yes.
You know, we heard so much from my daughters. You know, they really love Louis to the point that that was their youth pastor. That was the only youth pastor they knew. So Louis kind of encouraged us in a way about this new church that was coming to happen. And it was a different experience because to know, you know, to be able to trust and to find out that that's the right thing to do. You know, it took me a few years at least 2 years. to say, I guess it's okay to join them.
Yeah.
One of the biggest shifts for me has been this whole idea of the meet 5 new people a week. I was thinking about that this week because it's taken the pressure off. You know, before as a Christian, I always thought, okay, I've got to share the gospel with people. You know, I've got to get to the point in the relationship where I can tell them about Christ. And I just always felt uncomfortable with that, like I was trying to do a sales pitch or something. And this meeting 5 new people with no strings attached, no, like, you know, I don't have to get anywhere with this, just to be friends. And what's happened in that is over this 2 years, we've made a lot of really good friends through the kids' swim team. And one of the women there, who I never thought would want anything to do with God, has asked me this week to pray for her about something. And that has just come from being freed from this like agenda at the end of this, just having friendship with her, to where she knows me now and trusts me, so that she's in a situation now where she needs prayer about something, and so she's called me. I just think that's freeing.
Yeah. Because we can't measure how we affect people.
Right.
Because you don't know if that person's going to go and tell somebody about their experience or not, because we might not see them again. So I think we're successful in doing our events, but we can't always measure it, our success.
That's what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to measure success, what would be a good standard to have? And when you say, well, we're changing lives, I don't always know, because people, believe it or not, there are people who've come once to the journey, and they call up 6 months later and they say, that was so impacting my life, and I never see them again.
I think that we're being institutionalized in a new way to do ministry that really should be the way it should have been done in the first place. Does that make sense? I mean, even within my own family with April, I just see it chipping away at that rigid, traditional way of doing things. And it's just really cool to see that opening up.
If we can keep church as simple as possible, we'll find ourselves doing more effective ministry. We want to love Jesus and help people love Jesus. And we want to know what that means. Each one of us is going to love differently. Like our marriages are all different. You know, we're going to love a little bit differently, but it's the same person we're loving. We're out there trying to find people. Rhonda mentioned 5 people a week. I'm still getting 20 people a week that I'm meeting. I don't know what I do with all of them. Sometimes it's just a brief encounter. But let me tell you the reason for that is, Louis will tell you that within a year's time of me being here, the number of people that knew me and I knew was astounding. And I'm not saying it was me, it's just I was forced to get out in the community.
How do you measure success? I think anybody that will open their ear to what you have to say about grace of God in my life and try to communicate that to them and wherever they're at is success. Whether that's done through the journey or not.
We don't know how many lives that are touched from somebody that has come to the church or has come to one of our events that we've touched their life, that they went out and touched someone else because of us.
Right.
We're about the Father's business. We're bringing people into the kingdom. We have a purpose.